What I really don't like is the trends. The trends of types of videos that come out, like the
Yeah.
yandere trend. Like, why?
If that's a trend, can it please end?
Yeah, please make it stop.
Make
Like,
it stop.
okay,
Stop
okay, I need
glorifying
to.
abuse.
Yeah, guys, like, yanderes are not the kind of people you actually want to date.
I've dated
They're
one, I nearly
terrifying.
married one, and it destroyed my life.
I was stalked by one for
How?
7 years of my life.
Yeah.
You don't
I'm so
want this.
sorry.
I promise you. You don't
I'm
want
so,
this.
Yeah,
so
and
sorry for both of you.
thank you. I mean, it did
Thanks.
suck. And honestly, I think, okay, so there are some people that I trust with the genre because, it's a genre and I don't want to yuck anyone's yum, but it's not. Okay, so Wonderful Waifu, for example, she does really good yandere. But then you get this horde of young male writers who, I swear to God, the only reason they have this affinity for yandere isn't uh, an actual kink or anything like that. It's that they. It's almost as if they wish they could have a relationship with someone who they never had to put any effort into. This person
Yeah.
will be completely 100% attached to them no matter what because they all believe that no one will actually love them for who they are. And it's just such a toxic self belief that's coming out in glorified,
Mm-hmm.
spousal abuse.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, you're worth a real
Like,
relationship.
yeah. Like, don't settle for people who are gonna treat you like garbage.
Yeah.
I promise you, this is treating you like garbage.
Yeah.
Like, where people should not make you the center of their whole entire existence. Like,
Preach.
that's not healthy.
Yep.
You need other stuff in your life. You need a hobby. You need another support system. You need something.
Yeah.
And like, I get, if you're like an introverted person and, forging friendships is difficult for you. I get that. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't still try, because you cannot just make one person your whole life. It's not healthy.
Yeah. And for those listening on YouTube later, if you've managed to make it this far, and you're currently sitting there
Yeah.
going, it's easy for you guys to say that. You're obviously so, outgoing and easily spoken, that you're doing live streams and YouTube. Well, mate, I wish you'd seen me when I was in my late teens and early 20s, because good God, it was not this way. It was not. I thought I would be alone my entire life because I hated myself. I thought there was nothing good about me at all. I was so lonely. I cried at night, every night, and I just turned people away with my shitty self loathing behavior, and I thought it was good and just because I was a horrible person and this was how it should go. And then I woke the fuck up to myself. You know. So I get it. I know
Yeah.
what it's like to be in that headspace. I was taken advantage of because of that. And yeah, exactly right. Trick boy, it's
Yeah.
yeah. And like because I was in that space, one of these people managed to take advantage of me and they just you don't understand how much damage they can do to you. It's not
Okay, so
going to end well.
I can speak on this.
Yeah.
No, so I can speak on this. So, I've been in a headspace where I've, sort of similar, like I hated myself and I thought I'd be alone for the rest of my life. But I never felt that way until I met this person. This person was a classmate of mine. And we met when I was like 11 years old, and so was he. And I sat with him in class because he was by himself and people were making fun of him, and I felt a solidarity, and I was like, you know what? Like, that's not fair. Like, I'm gonna sit with him and we're gonna, like, at least he'll have someone to talk to. I wanted to be a nice person, but then they started bullying me for it. At that point, I'd already been bullied for pretty much my entire primary school existence, and I was sick of being bullied. And so I distanced myself from him, which I'm not super proud of. But he retaliated by stalking me, and he retaliated by basically calling me every horrible word in the book, and by like doing a whole bunch of other stuff that we don't really need to get into. But the point is, I never felt as though I hated myself to that extent until I met him and started being stalked by him and tried to tell people that it was happening, and no one believed me. Like, people thought that I'd done something to deserve it, or that I should be the one responsible for his behavior. And so I started feeling as though, like, relationships didn't have a point, because what if they were all like this? Like, where some person feels as though they have a right to you, and because of it, they do everything possible to make you aware of that every freaking minute of your existence. That, like, they own you or they want to own you. And it's, quite frankly, it's gross, for, like, to put it mildly, and it's terrifying, and it's so stressful, to the point where the only thing I thought about for years, while this was happening, was getting out of the country I was living in, because I knew I'd never escape otherwise.
And hey, I just want to add something that's not exactly going to cast a great light on my thought process, but I know that this is going to get through to some kid out there where these arguments won't. Mate, they don't all look like the pretty anime girls on the thumbnail. Okay?
No, they don't.
They really don't.
No, they don't. But yeah, so you don't want somebody who's going to put you at the center of their world like that and not have anything else going on in their life, and completely ignore what consent means, and and feel as though they're entitled to every second of your life. You do not want anyone like that. You just don't.
Yeah.
And that's me off my soapbox now. I'm done.
Yeah. I am completely okay with us saying these exact same things every live stream, by the way, until it goes away.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I love you, Mattiest Matt. I just think you're an amazing writer, and you make me, like, feel inferior every second script you write. But, mate, if I hear you say the term wholesome yandere one more fucking time, I'm gonna scream, and I'm going to take down that entire genre with my own writing, okay? You don't want me to start writing yandere, okay? Because you'll all be out of a fucking job in a week.
You do a good job of writing it as someone who's voiced a yandere script for you. Like, you do a good job.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And that was
I've
one of my first scripts.
I've never been more creeped out of a performance of mine than when I did that.
Yeah, you nailed it.
To be perfectly honest, I'm shocked I managed to nail it, but
the term wholesome yandere, it's like, oh god,
that's non-existent usually.
It's an oxymoron.
It is.
No, say it like this. Next time you say that, say it like this: wholesome spousal abuse.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Okay. Say it like that.
That sounds like you're trying to describe I Love Lucy.
Oh god.
Yeah.
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 I Love Lucy gets a point for presenting interracial relationships, but everything else can get flopped.
Yeah.
Agreed.
True. Also, Lucille Ball is the reason Star Trek even got off the ground.
Yes,
so
true.
Kudos to her.
Yeah. And Star Trek did more for utopian thought and kind of the idea of equality and things like that than pretty much anything of its time.
Oh,
Except
and
for,
also,
the actual, civil rights movement.
yeah.
Yeah.
Obvious.
Okay. Also, people who, guys who idolize people like Kirk, because in the Star Trek movies, when he was played by Chris Pine at the very beginning, they were like, "Oh, Kirk gets all the ladies." You know what Kirk didn't do to get all the ladies? Stalk them.
Yeah.
He didn't act as though he was entitled to them. In fact, he did the exact opposite and would tell like the father figures or the other people in their lives who were trying to control them, she's got a right to her own life. How about you
Yeah.
back the fuck up and let her make her own decisions?
Yeah, mate. Chicks find freedom hot.
No, it's not like consent is sexy. No, consent is essential. Just like freedom is essential.
Yeah,
These
yeah,
are
yeah.
essentials.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the kind of sarcastic tone came through or not there, but
Yeah. Let's just make it clear for people. Like,
yeah, because
it's
obviously
like
if there's enough
consent
yandere
and-
content out there, people don't get
Yeah.
this shit.
Yeah, they don't. You need to give your partner space. You need to give your partner alone time. You need to let your partner breathe and don't follow them places unless they specifically asked you to follow them.
Yes. Also,
Maybe that gets them hot, I don't know, but unless they specifically asked you to,
yeah,
don't do that.
yeah, they will tell you. They will tell
Yeah.
you hard, and
Yeah.
also, the less someone makes you the center of their world, the more you can get away with being a shit person. If you truly think you're garbage, then you don't want someone who's holding a microscope up to you, do you? You
Maybe that's the
drongo.
wrong message.
Well, I mean,
but
it's
I get what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I'm kind of trying to point out that you don't.
Yeah.
Like, the more someone focuses on you as the center of their fucking world, the more quickly...
The more they notice about you.
Yeah, the more quickly friction is going to occur, and you're going to have, arguments and, well, I mean, this isn't even a realistic thing that I'm talking about here. Just hypothetically, if someone's focusing on you above all else, then, you're going to get, whatever you hate about yourself, they're going to see,
Yeah.
At least if they've got their own hobbies and things like that, fuck, you can join in. God damn.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Just no, you're absolutely right.
I
And
had a
it
mate who recently transitioned from the way of thinking that we don't like to more the way of thinking we're trying to espouse here, and it took him less than a month to be in a relationship.
Yeah,
Oh, good for him.
exactly.
Yeah. He just, seriously, he just jettisoned the train of thought just because he had he had no reason not to, and within a month he was dating someone. First time in his life. He's in his 30s.
There you go.
And this guy's not like some loser. He's a well-paid, highly regarded lawyer, So, he's not stupid. It was just that
just
way
had
of
a-
thinking is so visible.
Yeah, and it chases people away. So maybe don't do it.
Yeah.
Like when people say you need to get a life, this is what they mean by get a life. Like have some other things besides the need for a romantic partner.
Yeah.
Like romantic partners are not the end all be all. God love them. I love my partner to death. I absolutely adore him. But he can't be the center of my universe at any given moment. Like it would exhaust me and suffocate him.
Yeah.
And the same as vice versa. Like we like our alone time.
Yeah. Oh, and
We've taken separate vacations from each other.
same. Yeah, Naomi and I have done that several times.
Yeah.
Oh, what was I about to say? Oh, yeah. For any of you guys out there who think getting into a relationship is going to solve your sexual frustration problems,
It is
I have
not.
bad news for you. Oh,
The
wow.
answer is it is not.
It's not going to do
Being in a relationship
shit.
does not solve anything. Look,
If you're not getting
I
laid
had-
now, you're not going to be getting laid when you're in a relationship.
First of all, I used to have such absolutely crippling self-esteem issues. Like, if Salt were here and not on his own stream at the moment, he would definitely be able to confirm. My self-esteem was through the floor. It was not good. And it was still through the floor when I got into a relationship with my then boyfriend, now spouse. And it didn't make the problem go away. I still felt like shit about myself, even though I was in love, even though this person loved me unconditionally. It didn't matter because I still felt like crap. You know what it took for me to feel good about myself? Therapy!
Yeah.
Get yourself a damn therapist, please.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, you have no idea how sane you can feel after ranting at someone who is paid to listen to you.
Yeah. Because they have heard this, and they have experience of people in your exact situation, and they know what you need to hear.
Yeah.
It's not like they're being
thing,
clever.
Your spouse isn't your therapist. Your boyfriend, your girlfriend, they
Yes.
are not your therapist. Do not treat them like free labor.
Yes.
Because that will not end well.
Yeah, you will just make them depressed and they will resent you.
Yep.
Yep.
And then you'll be back to where you started with no partner and wonder why you're so lonely.
Yep.
Maybe
exactly.
it's because you treat them like your emotional support animal.
Yep.
Which they're not.
Yep.